Hello students, welcome back to the lecture series of Satellite Communication and Networking. I am Professor Shilpa Shah from IT/ICT department, and in the last session we have started about Unit 9 in Satellite Communication and Networking, that is satellite access. And we have discussed one type of multiple access system, that is the FDMA, that is frequency division multiple access. Now, in today's session, we are going to discuss with another type of multiple access system, that is time division multiple access, TDM. So let's start with TDM. So basically, what does this TDMA, that is time division multiple access, means? So time division multiple access, similarly that we have discussed about the frequency division multiple access. In that frequency FDMA system, we have divided the whole bandwidth into different frequency bands. Right. Similarly, in this TDMA system, we are dividing the whole time with the different time slots, provided between them guarded time slots, so that there is no adjacent channel interference between them. Right. So similar to this FDMA system, TDMA has also two types of multiple access system, that is single access TDMA system, and second, that is the demand access TDMA system. Right. So the same way that in single access TDMA system, what happened is the time slots which are divided into the whole times are given to a specified user. So the number of users are limited in this single access time division users. Right. Whereas when we talk about the demand access, so in demand access system, we are giving the on demand or as per request of user, we are allocated the empty time slot from the whole time slot to that particular user, so user can use that time slot for transmitting or receiving data, and after the receiving or transmission is complete, then that particular time slot is again empty and is given to a next user, which on which the next request is requested. Right. So let's discuss what is the TDMA, how does it works, and what are the different uses, advantages and disadvantages of TDMA system. So let's start this the TDMA system. Now, as you can see in this diagram, right, this is the whole TDMA system, in which there is a one hub station, which you see on the left side of the figure, and there are three users, and the three users having different antennas, user 1, user 2 and user 3. Right, and there is a communication satellite in between. So the whole time slot is given to this, assigned to this hub station, and hub station is divided, the whole time slot divides into the three time slots, and that particular three time slots are given to these three users. So if the three users are allocated this specific time slot, then only these three users will use this TDMA system for data receiving and transmitting purpose. Right. But if we are using the demand access, so as per the user change and as per the time slot is empty, the particular time slot is allocated to this to that user as per request by the hub station. Right. So in this you can see the dotted line, that is for the receiving purpose, and the dashed line, that is the hard dark line, that is for the transmitting purpose. So whenever the user one requests the data, right, so the data is transmitted using the dotted line, and the data will be received by the substation with the help of communication satellite on that particular time slot. And whenever the data as per the request, if any user have if any time slot is empty, then the hub station will allocate that particular time slot to that user, and it is informed through a feedback or response, which is given by the dark black line. Right. Now, basically, what is the TDMA technology? So time division multiple access, TDMA, is a digital cellular telephone communication technology in which there are different time slots. The time is divided into the different time slots, and that particular time slots are allocated to user as per its request or demand. It facilitates many users to share the same frequency without interference. So that means in this particular TDMA system, the frequency will remain constant and the time slot will be divided into among users. It is the technology divides the signal into a different time slots. Hence, it increases the data carrying capacity. Now, how does this TDMA works? So, TDMA takes a cellular communication channel, that is frequency band, and slices into a series of time segments. That means what does this TDMA will do? So TDMA will divide the whole frequency band of cellular communication into different time slots, and different time segments as per this band will allocate it to their users. Each cellular user is assigned the time slices with a given number. Each user transmit information only for the duration of the time segments using TDMA scheme. By small time segments and high slicing frequency, user perceives a continuous communication channel, right? So there, as the time slots are given with the small time segments and the high frequency slicing, so user will communicate easily with the help of this time slot, that is TDMA system, compared to this FDMA system. Now, what are the different features of FDMA? So, first feature is that it shares a single channel by several users. That means the frequency channel is continuous or is constant. So that particular frequency channel, or you can say bandwidth, is the constant and is shared by this multiple users with the help of given time slots. High synchronization overhead is required. So as it is working with the time, so the synchronization is very necessary for TDMA systems compared to FDMA systems. Then data transmission is not continuous. That means as per the request of the user, if any time slot is empty, then and then only that particular time slot will be assigned to that user, so that the data can be transmitted at that particular time slot only. So whenever at that particular for the particular time is given for the, let's say, user, there are three users, user A, B and C. Right, so user A has given a different time slot, B has different time slot, and C has different time slot. So if right now the time slot is going for the user B and the data need to be transmitted in user A, then user A need to wait for its time slot whenever it will appear. Right, so that particular time the data transmission is not continuous for that particular TDMA system. Then possible to allocate different number of slots to the user. So as they are working on a different time slots, then we are using this TDM. Now, second, that is the difference between FDMA and TDMA. So what is the basic difference between FDMA and TDMA? So in FDMA, the entire band of frequencies is divided into multiple RF channel carriers. Each carrier allocate a different user. Right? So in this FDMA system, the whole frequency channel is divided into the number of frequency slots, and that particular frequency slot is given to the user. Whereas when we talk about the TDMA, this frequency channel will be constant, and that depend on this frequency channel, the number of time slots are divided on the depending on the timing slots. So its entire bandwidth is shared among different subscribers at predefined or dynamically assigned time. That means the user will assign, or the user will use the whole bandwidth for that particular time. So let's say if user B is transmitting right now, so user B will allocate the whole bandwidth for transmitting and as well as receiving purpose. So that particular time, user A and user C, both users have to wait for their time slots to overcome. Clear? Now, as you can see in the below figure, right, in FDMA and TDMA systems, in FDMA when we talk about, so it is a frequency division. So as you can see, the bars are arranged on a vertically axis, so the different frequencies are allocated as per, you can see, band, that is orange, blue and green. Right, when you talk about this TDMA system, this time is divided, this whole frequency band is constant over the whole time slot period. Right, so each and every user will use the whole bandwidth to acquire or to transmit data and receive purpose. Now, what are the different advantages of TDMA systems? So, first of all, it carries data rates from 64 kbps to 120 mbps. Then more number of users can use the same spectrum. Then operational costs are lower than traditional FDMA. Then different types of traffic easily achieved by allocation of different time slots, and resource utilized effectively as per the need basis and battery life enhanced. So as per the requirement of the time slot, the user will assign this time slot, so that for the rest of the users we need to satisfy for that time to come. Clear? So each and every user will have a different time slots as per its requirement. Now, what are the different disadvantages of TDMA system compared to FDMA? So, network and spectrum planning require more efforts, right? That means when we walk about the talking about the TDMA, so first of all, synchronization circuit is required for synchronization purpose. So the circuit becomes the more complex. So the network planning will require more efforts. Then multiple interference affects call quality, right? So as the whole frequency band is working for that particular time slot, there is a possible of multipath interference, right? In FDMA, there was the adjacent channel interference due to the frequency slots, right? And switching from one base station cell to the other cell result into the drop cell. So whenever we are traveling through from one bus station to any bus station, so if the proper handover is not produced, then there may be chance that the call may be dropped for that particular time, right? So call dropping is maximum in TDMA system compared to FDMA. Clear? So that's all for today's session, right? Here we have discussed again second type of multiple access system, which is the time division multiple access, right? So thank you for watching, and in the next session we are going to discuss the third type of multiple access, that is the core division multiple access, right? So that's all for today's session. Thank you.